I'm often asked, is it important to hire a local attorney? Maybe your spouse hired someone out of Miami or Orlando, but your case is in Tampa, St. Pete, Newport Richey, Plant City, Brandon, or Dade City. Should you hire someone local? The answer is yes. At Tampa Divorce, we practice in only three counties: Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties. We do this because each county has very different rules and very different judges. It is important that your attorney knows the judges. A good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge. When I say know the judge, I'm not talking about hanging out at the golf course. I'm talking about knows their likes and dislikes, their preferences, and how they're likely to rule. A local attorney who's in front of those judges every single week will have that built up reputation and also know the judge. When I say build up reputation, I'm talking about the instant credibility that a local experienced attorney brings to the courtroom on your behalf and for your benefit. For example, when I walk into the courtroom, the judges already know who I am, and my clients are often amazed how the judges greet me. Because again, I've been in front of them every single week for a very long time at this point. Hire an attorney who's local as opposed to a stranger from out of town. Also, each circuit has local rules that it is important for your attorney to know. I recently went against an attorney from Orlando who for some reason was hired in a Tampa case. He failed to follow Tampa's administrative orders, and we filed a motion to dismiss and sought sanctions. At the hearing, the attorney from Orlando acted as if the local orders were no big deal. The court disagreed. The court awarded $5,000 in fees for my client based on the mistake made by the Orlando attorney. I don't even know if his client knew what the mistake was because it was such a legal area that's not very clear to someone not knowing the game. When friends and family ask me what to look for in a lawyer, I always tell them the same thing. Make sure that you're hiring a lawyer that only does one thing and does that thing well. For example, I do divorce and family law and absolutely nothing else. While some other attorneys may do criminal and family and write your will and sue your neighbor for their dog pooping on your yard and do your business documents, we call those lawyers dabblers because they dabble in everything, but they cannot be good at everything. I strongly recommend you hire an attorney that only does work in your area, whether that's a divorce or child custody case. I'm often asked how a divorce lawyer will help with mediation. Mediation is one of the most important days of your case. It can be a final resolution. What happens in mediation is not dictated by the mediation day itself, but by the preparation and anticipation of mediation. For our clients, we always gather all the financial documents and put them into Excel spreadsheets so we know what my client's expectations for court could be. 2 weeks before our mediation, I'll meet with the client and go through those documents through the Excel spreadsheets, showing exactly what reasonable expectations are for court. Remember, mediation is not about what you want versus what the other side wants. It's about what you want versus what you can get in court, and what the other side wants versus what they can get in court. Prepping for mediation, just as prepping for court, is more important than the actual mediation itself. Without an attorney, you'll be completely lost, and you may make an agreement to your detriment. And when I say detriment, I could be talking about time with your children, ridiculous child support numbers, and alimony that you don't get that you should have got, paying alimony that you pay just to make it go away. There's a lot of things that you will do just because the law is so complex and challenging. Make sure you have an attorney. Some people ask, why should I hire a divorce lawyer? I can just do it myself. To them, I say, good luck. Going against a pro se party, meaning someone representing themselves, is an interesting experience as a divorce lawyer. First of all, they do not know the law. This past Friday, I was in trial against a person representing herself. My client made 4 times the income of what that person made. They were in a 15-year marriage. 15-year marriage. This is clearly an alimony case, but divorce law is a game, and people don't know the rules. There are very specific requirements when it comes to presenting evidence, how it must be introduced, when it must be introduced, and the elements that you're trying to meet. If you fail to meet those elements, you're done. My trial last Friday, my client has to pay a grand total of $0 and 0 cents. He should be paying $154,000 in alimony, but he had to pay nothing. For the cost of trial, he got a 10x return on his investment. Hire a lawyer, because if you don't, you are stuck with the consequences. I didn't know what I was doing. I need another trial date. I want another shot. As the judge told that pro se party last week, you had your chance. Your chance is gone. And whatever happened at trial, you're stuck with it. So hire a lawyer. It's the best investment you'll ever make. Protect your future. Protect your time with your children. Hire a lawyer. Call today for a free consultation or visit us at tampadivorce.com, tampadivorce.com, tampadivorce.com.